Okay, in today's video, we are going to be talking about why does your puppy whine when your puppy comes home, and then we're also going to be talking about teething. So whining first, everybody needs to understand that every puppy that leaves here is going to whine a fair amount. And the reason they do that is because of immaturity and aloneness. They've been with their litter mates their entire life, and now all of a sudden you bring them home to your pet porter or the cage that you've made for them or the play yard, and all of a sudden your puppy will start to howl and whine, and it can be quite piercing and make the hairs on the back of your neck stand up. So what do? First of all, you can't spoil your puppy too much. So I want you to go ahead and love on it and hold it and do that as much as you want to, because it needs to bond with you, and it'll start to feel like a part of your pack family when it has fully bonded with you. But when it's alone, it starts to cry and howl. So during the day, go ahead and give it timeout sessions where you're teaching it to be alone and you're teaching it to be independent. A lot of the customers are buying the Snuggle Puppy that come with heat packs, and the reason those are so effective is because we rub the Snuggle Puppies on the mother so it absorbs the scent of the mother. Dogs will actually walk into a room and they interpret their environment by their sense of smell. We walk into a room and we interpret our environment by our sense of sight, but a puppy is going to interpret everything by its sense of smell. So that little Snuggle Puppy that smells like mom is going to comfort that puppy when it has to be alone, when you're at work or doing errands. And then there's a heat pack, and that warmth will feel like a warm litter mate to them, and they're used to snuggling up and taking their naps with warm puppies. So go ahead and I give you permission to let your puppy cry and howl when you're trying to teach it to be alone. So do that during the day, but feel free to love on it as much as you can during the day. And then at nighttime, when your puppy starts to howl and carry on, when you're trying to get your sleep, let's say you have the playpen set up in your kitchen, or you have the pet porter set up in your great room or living room, what you want to do is bring that puppy in close to you, because it's going to howl and cry for maybe even 40 minutes. So bring the puppy into your bedroom or a child's bedroom, put it right on the nightstand, and now it can smell you nearby, and it'll know that it's not alone. It can see you nearby. It can hear you talk to it nearby. You can reach your hand into the pet porter and let them know that, hey, you're with your pack family, you're not alone. And then your puppy should settle down and go to sleep. So that's an awesome tip to keep your puppy from whining, but I do give you permission to let your puppy cry a little bit during the day. When you're doing those crying out sessions, just put it as far away from you as possible so it doesn't cause stress in your home, especially during the killer hour when you're doing homework or supper with your kids. That's not the time to have a puppy crying in the background. So I give you permission to do that, and then your puppy will actually mature out of this phase, and that can happen anytime between 12 and 14 weeks, where your puppy will become independent and confident being alone, and you'll know when you get there. So it doesn't mean that your puppy has a bad temperament. It doesn't mean that you picked a bad puppy. It's just an immature puppy. So remember that. Now, regarding teething, every puppy has an overwhelming desire to chew on everything. They're interpreting their environment by their sense of smell. Anything that lets off a scent, like a shoe or a rug or socks or dirty laundry, they're going to go and investigate that, and the first thing they're going to do is they're going to be curious and put it into their mouth and chew on it. They cannot help that overwhelming desire to teeth, so just continue to one-up them with bull horns and antlers and things that you want to have them teeth on versus your favorite shoe or the side of your leather couch or something. Another negative thing you can do to curb that unwanted teething is you can squirt them in the face with water. Now, some puppies, especially golden doodles, might like that because they like water, but you can see if that works, and that should startle their behavior or stop their behavior, and they should stop chewing on whatever they're teething on that you don't want them to. A firm no command when you do that, catch them right in the action, and you can use that for a little negative discipline, but it doesn't really hurt them. Another thing you can do if they're teething on your hands, the reason they're doing that, or if they're going after your children's feet when they're sitting at the table, or if they're pulling on the back of their shirts and they're being really mouthy. Some puppies are worse than others. It's not because they're trying to be mean to your child, but they're viewing your child as a litter mate. And so they're inviting your child to play when they pull on the shirt. They're saying, come play with me, because they've lost their litter mates. So what you want to do is you can wrap your hand around the snout and hold for 15 seconds and say no. and teach them that that is not wanted behavior. They have to learn that human skin is sensitive. So you do want to do some sort of negative behavior. A mother dog, when the puppies are growing their teeth and she's teaching them not to nurse anymore because that gets really sharp on her mammary glands, and their fingernails are sharp and they're pulsating the mammary gland, that can really hurt a mother. So a mother dog will actually take her snout, wrap it around the puppy's snout and hold it. I've seen it happen, and they're teaching that puppy that you can't nurse, and so they self-wean their puppies that way. So that's mimicking. When you do that with your hand and you press in a little bit with your fingernails, you're teaching it no bite. And then another effective thing is just an immediate little pinch on the ear to ward off that negative mouthy behavior. But they will also grow out of that, and they'll learn that because they bonded with you and they love you and they get that negative reaction from you when they're mouthing your hands or your arms, they'll learn that you don't like it, and they'll want to naturally please you because dogs love to please their people. So those are a couple things you can do. There are also positive reinforcement things you can do where you just one-up them with that bullhorn or a teething ring and show them what to teeth on. So it can last pretty much the whole first year as they're teething. And so people always are nervous about potty training, but what my customers complain the most about is the teething, the overwhelming desire to teeth on everything. So just do your best with that and you will get through it. Sometimes cold treats can be helpful, or something that you've got frozen in your freezer to give them and they'll gnaw on that. We do send a bullhorn home in your gift bag. So those are some things to keep in mind when you bring your new puppy home, and I hope these tips really help you. Thanks for watching today.